The summit of the blue folder. Petra sat at her desk, staring at a thick, dusty folder. It was Friday afternoon, and her manager had just assigned her a difficult task. She needed to update the quarterly price list, but the data was missing. To Petra, this felt like a professional scavenger hunt. She would have to scavenge through old archives and digital files to find the correct numbers before the weekend began. A heavy responsibility was placed on her shoulders. This quarterly price list was used by every department, making it an indispensable tool for the company. Julian, her supervisor, walked by and nodded. He knew the task was hard. "If you finish this by Monday, the client will be very impressed," Julian said. Petra knew she had to be efficient and effective to succeed. As she began to tackle the mess of papers, Petra's mind began to waver. She felt overwhelmed. She thought about how she might have handled this in the past. If she had been given this task 10 years ago, she probably would have quit. Back then, she lacked the perseverance she possessed now. She closed her eyes and reflected on her teenhood. During her teenhood, Petra was not very organized. She used to leave her clothes on the floor, and her mother would always remind her to make the bed. She rarely did the washing up after supper, and her coat was often hung on the back of a chair instead of in the closet. She realized that being successful was a trait that had to be practiced every day. Her perspective changed when she started hiking. She remembered a specific trail she climbed years ago. Before the sun was lit in the sky, she had to put on her heavy boots and harness her courage. Her guide told her that the mountains are not for cowards. To reach the summit, one must keep moving, even when the path is steep and the wind tries to halt your progress. Now back in the office, Petra decided to use that same mountain climbing mindset. She determined that she would not let the complexity of the folder stop her. She realized that success was not just about luck, it was about the daily choices one made. She began to sort the documents into categories, making her process more efficient. Hours passed. The office grew quiet as others left for the day. Petra knew that if she had not started early, she might not have found the error in the March report. She refused to halt her work until the most difficult section was finished. A mistake might have been made by the previous accountant, but she was going to fix it. Petra had to make a phone call to a supplier to verify a final figure. It was a quick conversation, but it was the final piece of the puzzle. She finally felt she had a firm grasp on the project. She did the final calculations carefully. By the time she finished, she felt as though she had conquered a great peak. On Monday morning, Julian returned to her desk. The folder was neat, and the quarterly price list was perfect. "You did an excellent job, Petra," he said. He was impressed by how she managed to tackle such a chaotic assignment. The task that felt like a mountain on Friday was now a trophy of her hard work. Success is not a destination. It is a trail we choose to walk every day. Petra realized that the habits she formed to persevere and never chase the easy way out were her greatest strengths. As she looked out the window, she saw the distant hills and smiled. She was ready for the next summit, whatever it might be.